everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the Abyss, part 10 of our 4 Keeps adventure. Today is February 20th, 2023, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to say at the beginning of each and every single one of these videos or audio casts. Brain fart. I lost the entire intro on that one. But if that's something that you enjoy hearing and also that you kind of need to hear, you can go to Indoor Adventure on Indoor Adventures on either YouTube or anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us for that after show. The best way to ask us those questions is either going to be to post them in the Twitch chat to the side, and we'll do our best to try and sift through and pull them, because the place where we answer the most questions from is actually going to be our Discord. So you can hang out with the cast, you can ask us questions, comments, concerns, all of that jazz. Just click the link in the Twitch chat to the side, or join us as the link is in the description down below. Check it out. Let's say you already support us on Patreon, though. Let's say that you already support us on Twitch and YouTube, Spotify, all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Well, guess what, Acorns? I got your back, quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, and we also have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf 1201. And all of the proceeds of our merch is currently going to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause, or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. Hey, RJ, who are you playing today?
I'm still trying to get over you saying loink. Hi, everybody. I'm RJ. Today I'm playing Caelum, who is a Shatterkai wizard fighter, and we both go by he, him. I'm a menace.
Yeah, I can't get over you saying loink, because now I'm triggered for work, because that's an actual term.
What is
that
loink?
It's a
we can Nights in the Courtyard if we want.
It's a medical lab coding system.
Okay.
I'm Cyber. I use he or whatever pronouns. I play Arjhan. Arjhan is a Draconian Nexus. He, him.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. This is the wrong spiel. I'm playing as Coriander, the Eldrin Paladin, who's got the she, they, and he pronouns, and I got the she, her ones. Let's do it.
Let's fucking go! As you noticed, our dear friend LB of LBHackEmUp is not currently here. They are celebrating President's Day with their family being in town. So, hi LB's mom, hi LB's dad, hi LB. I hope you're having a great time. And we miss you for this game, and we will see you when we end up playing again. But my name is the Indoor Adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be your dungeon master. So, last we left off, we found Philip, or should I say, Cal, the halfling hero, mighty beard, crazy tattoo, gruff lisp, and all sorts of other shit associated with him. You tracked him down using magic because wizards are cheaters. And it wasn't even the wizard who actually tracked him down. It was the paladin and the ranger who were capable of doing this with the help of a handy hound. Thankfully, you were all able to track down Philip. Gwen was able to have a very good, I would say, conversation with Philip, and we say a good conversation because nobody left with missing body parts yet, and that is indeed a good conversation. Now, your group also tried to figure out what it is Philip was supposed to do, as Philip had actually been involved with Tharizdun's black book, a black book that had caused this wicked tattoo to appear onto Philip's arm. Philip explained to Gwen that he had enlisted himself into the role of being able to assist Gwen because he did not want her to die. Tharizdun said that he could do that if Philip was willing to do a thing for him that involved the petroglyphs up in northern Vascor. Now, at the mention of these petroglyphs and the story kind of revolving around them, Caelum, you being as curious as ever, decided that you were going to project an image 1,000 miles away, I believe, was the overall end result of that. And from where you were on the opposite side of this continent, this country, you were able to speak with Hotarai. And in doing so, you received a bunch of information, specifically that there was this celestial body that was depicted in these petroglyphs. There's the sun, the moon, and then this third thing. And Hotarai had actually been researching that third thing as well, and kind of gave you a little bit of exposition as to what he believes it is. Now, with that being said, the story is still incomplete. And the verdict is still out as to whether this is a good thing or a bad thing. However, it is a thing, and it's got Caelum rather curious about the whole matter. Now, at this point, Arjhan, you decided that, okay, we gotta hollow some ground in Avernus. We gotta get all this done. I'm going to flip through my Rolodex. I'm going to contact other planes. I'm going to get myself, my alternate self, to cast this hollow spell. And Arjhan is currently non-verbal, non-responsive, sitting in front of a fire with a little blanket over him, because that's how contact other planes works from time to time. After that, Cori had a brief heart-to-heart with Philip, where offered to Philip, in a sense, a way out, potentially, of this whole Tharizdun thing, to which Philip said, you know what, I should really talk to my partner about this, because the last time that happened, the four of you came on, followed me to the edge of the earth and tracked me down. So, ample reason to be a little bit more, actions for words, right?
More like a way around.
Yeah, circumvent a little bit. Now, that being said, Cori, you and Caelum were going to speak to Elistray, and sort of told Philip, okay, don't go anywhere. This is going to be fine. We'll just be a little bit. We're just going to be a long rest in the other room, but it's like an elf long rest. So really just chill out for a little bit. And Philip, doing the thing that Philip does best, did not listen, and instead went outside to confront Gwen to talk about this whole circumvention that Cori had presented. It was at this point that Gwen's rage had caused quite a storm capable of drawing the attention of one particular god of storms named Talos, who, with Gwen and Philip speaking and communicating with each other, Talos appeared. And that is an adventure for a different time, but for the purpose of this adventure, the two of them, Gwen and Philip, are indisposed of at the moment. Meanwhile, back in Caelum's curious cabin, Cori, Caelum, y'all were reaching out to Elistray, having a good time? Or at least attempting to trance and get in contact with Elistray. Okay. Yeah, let's get into that. So for this, is this just you are both just trancing and hoping for the best? Are you setting up any kind of ritual space? Are you looking to contact her via a contact other plane spell, or try and use the plateau, Caelum's interim standing place, where the rest of the elven pantheon, it feels resides, as we have Mystra.
Where a lot of the magic and moon pantheon reside.
Yeah, it seems like it's a very common meeting ground. Are you looking to kind of meet there? Are you looking to project yourself onto the moon? Is the moon 1,000 miles away from where you are?
How far?
How many
It's your
miles?
world.
Well, look, I am basing the celestial bodies and their distances off of real time, so that way I don't have to worry about how gravity and other shit like that affects.
I can
the
get
weight.
us 0.02% of the way there with a project image.
Okay, it is a
It's
little bit
200,000 miles away.
Thank you. You said a percentage after the 1,000 miles, and my brain did not compute. It did not put the
I
times
cannot
into
project
play.
myself to the moon.
Okay, so is your goal to attempt to? I mean, you're trancing in order to be able to do this. Are you trying to do a? Are you trying to meet her on the plateau, or are you trying to use more of like a contact other planes kind of thing?
This was RJ's idea. I don't
want to go
in mind.
insane. I'm gonna pray.
Okay.
You
Sounds
could,
good.
But you could join the party.
You could join the party. I give you like I got the buzzkill aura, man.
That didn't help Arjhan, but we don't have to go over that.
Yeah, but Arjhan is just a buzzkill.
I think my save for the new contact of the plane is like 20 something.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as I roll like a 10, I'm fine on an int save.
True, but is Illustray on another plane, or is she on this plane?
She's on this
On the
plane.
moon. Well, I have established connection, which is talk to anyone
That's true.
with a higher DC. But the spell slots.
You're about to take a long rest, my dude.
Cabin. You're in a special cabin.
I'd have to use an 8th level spell slot.
Oh my god.
All right,
You're
I'll
gonna
do it.
sleep. You're taking a nap.
I'll do it. Spell circle on the ground.
I mean, what's your
10-minute
alternative?
ritual. I pray and not waste anything and hope for the best.
Oh. What is the alternative? Would I be able to contact Illustrate?
I would say with a... You would have to roll either a D100 and hope for the best, or if you got a high enough roll on a religion check with advantage because Caelum is standing there, you could attempt to initiate conversation with her.
All right.
Alternatively, hi Magic. She was trying to hop up on my lap and instead just clawed my thigh. You are aware of spell circles that exist up there. If you just
You could
wanted
just
to
go
teleport
there, huh?
there.
Does Caelum's got the
Trancing.
Caelum's got the deets though, right?
I
You
got
do.
the deets, yeah.
That's still the problem of taking a spell slot though,
Yep.
which is what you want to avoid.
Which would be a little bit worse because then I'd need 2 spell slots to come back.
Come back, yeah.
I can just cast contact, establish connection. It's fine.
You don't want me to try?
What's your religion?
Not bad. Could be better.
It'd be with advantage. If that happens.
It would be with advantage.
All right.
So roll the religion check
Roll the
and
religion
a
check.
D100?
The
or...
D100 would be if you just wanted to put your hands together and say, "Are you there, Illustray? It's me, Cori," and hope for the best. Whereas religion is more like, okay, like if we need to do this, like this is mystical magical cabin, we're gonna need like we're gonna need buttermilk and a bunch of other weird shit in order to actually like initiate conversation with Illustray.
Technically, it's just regular milk.
I will try both
Okay,
if the first one fails.
sounds good.
The ritual dance of the moon for what's it? While you're rolling, for saloon is like a little container of milk, and you dance over it during the full moon. It becomes a healing poultice.
Right, you're right. Well, one of them was a 1 and the other one was a 9 on the die, so I got a 15.
Okay, so a 15. She is aware that you are reaching out, but does not directly meet you on this one. Seems like
All
when
right.
connection will be established, it will be a limited connection. It seems kind of like how like she's on minutes kind of thing.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Should I do the D100 check then?
Yeah, do the D100. We'll check the reception.
All right.
She's calling from the moon. It's a long distance.
38.
Okay.
I'm trying to go high or low here. Is this Call of Cthulhu rules?
This is not Call of Cthulhu's. Cthulhu
Oof.
rules, sadly. But Illustray, as the two of you are trying to get in contact, I would say that there is a tall standing mirror in this room. And what you hear is melodic coming from the mirror itself. And as you look, you can see that there is this vibrant light that seems to be approaching said mirror. And the mirror shatters open, but the glass stays levitating in place as the spectral form of Illustray, in all of her glory, stands through this mirror, which again is sort of like in this stasis of breakage. And she looks at the two of you, and you can tell that she is that Caelum is not able to project his image as far as to the moon. Illustray, on the other hand, does have deific powers, and so this is effectively as much as she is able to present. For the purpose of this, we will say that there is a timer that is set as to how long she is able to communicate directly with you. So 10 minutes of IRL time. It is 5:55 Pacific Standard Time.
I'll get a timer.
Okay.
Jesus.
Once the timer hits 0, the connection breaks, regardless of if she says goodbye or if she is in the middle of a sentence. If she says
Starting now. Lady Illustray, thank you for seeing us.
Thank you for bringing me here. This is not exactly how I assumed things would go about. It doesn't seem like we have much time.
Yes, I have.
Well, I assume. Yes, I haven't heard negative otherwise.
I just have a few questions. It's a bit rushed. We don't have a lot of time. Are you aware of the petroglyphs that are north of Vascor?
I mean, I don't really have very many followers on the plane themselves, but I could at least look into it.
Well, it was explained to me that depicted on this petroglyph were 3 celestial bodies, the sun, the moon, and something else. This celestial body apparently comes by repeatedly throughout the years, once during the sundering, once before the sundering.
And she nods and smiles and says, that is the mark of a distant relative. That is, it goes by many names. The Wanderer's Home, the Homeward Star, or Celestian's Ark.
It's not the Dark
Traveler.
Star.
No, although if certain translations list it as the Ark Star, which at that point the Dungeon Master realized what they were doing and didn't want to confuse people more and changed the name of it further.
Right. Is this celestial body allowed to permeate the barrier that you're upholding against Caius?
Yes and no. It goes... You've been to the moon. I know so. I've brought you there. Celestial bodies like the moon, like the sun, they rotate.
Right.
Well, not the sun, but we rotate around that. And, well, regardless. The arc goes in its own predetermined path. But it does not have a sense of what planes and what other things are in its path before it goes to make them. It simply goes. It simply wanders. Some individuals may have named it the plane breaker for that specific reason. It is a large, massive celestial body that simply goes upon its own
Connor
path.
looks so upset right now. It traverses the plains.
In a sense, yes.
There might be other sightings in other places then. Right. There's something important about this star, this traveling comet. We just can't figure out what it is.
As far as its importance, I know that that is how the Celestiatali were deposited onto your plane. You would know them as other Dragonborn. Individuals also will get attached to the Ark itself. It really is a very interesting thing, to say the least. As far as its importance in all of this, because of the nature of the way that the planes, that the universes all rotate and shift, I could look into its direction, where it is going, but I don't have access to the other universes, to the other versions of myself. If there was a way
Why
of
would
doing that.
Tharsden want a champion of his to touch the petroglyphs?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that last part? Are you dealing
Once
with
again, we have
Tharsden?
little time.
I
so...
understand that, but when the Chained Oblivion is referenced, I kind of have to get a little defensive. You realize that.
I understand, yes. The situation is currently under control.
I don't know why Tharsden would want to make a champion of his. Who is this champion? Do I know them?
By
I don't
proxy.
think so.
All right. Well, that being said, as far as to why Tharsden wanted to make individuals aware of this entity, no one truly knows, is what I would argue. Without being able to see the end result that Tharsden wishes, it is like trying to understand the mind of a beehive without its queen. It's chaos. True and unbridled. It as far as I know, it could be that in revealing to you he wishes to eat something delicious. It could be that he wishes to remove one of his cruxes. Tharsden is a rogue element.
Neither god nor mortal, a elder evil, right?
Previous god. Still deific power.
Right. I need to go to Vascor, Cori. I need to see these petroglyphs.
All right. We'll make it happen.
If they're as weathered as I think they are, I'm going to need a little help.
If it is help you ask, it is help you shall receive. What can I do?
Do you have anyone with a sort of regeneration ability? Something that can grow back limbs?
I'm sure that there are followers of me that would be able to do such a thing that I could reach out towards.
If you could, please send them to Vascor. Or the petroglyphs at Vascor.
I will do my best to motivate them, but as to whether or not they actively do that thing, you are all mortals as well. You understand how well that works.
Yes. All right. Well, you've given us a lot to think on. Thank you for your time, Healthstray.
As always, it is a pleasure meeting you. Also, in all seriousness, the name of this champion of Tharsden? Just so that way I know not to, accidentally say, hey, come to the Moon Palace. Oh, you're Tharsden's friend. Cool.
Looks to Cori.
He's not a willing champion, and he's under my protection.
Understood, Mantlebearer.
Oh, if you ever want to set up shop on the plateau, there are several moon and magic goddesses here that you can chat with.
What plateau?
I'll send you the details later. We don't really have a lot of time.
Send me.
Olivia would love it over here.
I would also recommend checking in on her. She doesn't seem like she's doing very well. Anyways.
Wait, what?
Seems like her trip home caused her a little bit of grief. Goodbye. She just like steps through the broken mirrors just like reattach themselves, and it is once again a flat mirror.
Why
Cori,
does contact with her always end in tears?
you're asking the wrong elf. Well, you want to go punch stuff in the Raven Queen place? There's some training dummies.
I need to call Oliviette.
Puts a hand on Cori's shoulder.
She has a sending stone.
Yeah,
not like
she'll pull out the sending stone and step aside to go check on Oliviette. Maybe not necessarily a like, hey, how's it going? I heard you're not doing well. It's more of a, hey, I just wanted to say I love you, and if you want to talk after, that whole thing, please do.
Caelum's gonna abscond into the library and talk to Mistra and Saloon just to confirm, hey, we don't have anyone who could cast, like, regeneration, do we?
Roll a D100 for me.
Yes, sir. Yes, father.
Father.
Would you prefer... No, I'm not gonna do that on stream!
That's a Patreon exclusive, BB!
71.
Yeah, with a 71. Yeah, they would have somebody. They would know of somebody who could cast a regeneration. They are currently a resident of Sertelier, and you would probably need to get in contact with them, or you would need to wait the allotted time for them to arrive at Vascor, which could take several weeks of travel time.
Caelum just thinks to themselves, I'm gonna have to do a lot of hopping, huh? Oh, thank you. Things are about to get weird. So if you're watching,
Mistra, just like when you're like, things are about to get weird, Mistra just like looks at you deadpan. What else is new?
Tharzan's trying to touch the petroglyphs over by the north of... I just had it. Vascor.
Yeah.
That's new, right?
Are you in contact with Tharzan? Like a regular thing?
Not me personally, no.
Is it small one? Is it
just a face of, oh, they know?
Well, he didn't until that face. Tell her that's not a good... Like, she can come
We
to us.
have!
Look.
I think, at least at this point, she's probably getting her ass kicked by her god again.
Yeah, we can...
I'm sorry for swearing.
That's all right. There are plenty of swears in books.
Would you like some tea? I'm here for another 3 hours.
Make yourself at home, I suppose. I mean, you are a magister here.
Yeah.
Just like, don't...
Can we just small talk for a while, please?
That's fine as well.
Thank you.
And how is the weather where you are?
It's actually lovely on the plains this time of year. There's a nice breeze that comes through the west.
Hard cut to outside the cabin. There's like a lightning bolt that strikes, heavy rainfall.
Honk shoe, honk shoe, honk shoe.
Okay, so yeah, Caelum, you are finishing up your trance there. Cori, you go to shoot a sending off to Oliviette. And there is it takes a little bit for the sending to come back. And the response that you get is, I don't think that I should get my land legs anytime soon. The sea beckons me. I miss you dearly. Kisses.
Is she drunk?
She is very drunk, yes.
Olivia!
There's a sending stone that gets tossed out of the library towards Cori so she can talk a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't believe that sending stones from your dreams work on sending stones in real life. But that is all right. We can say that
It's the thought that counts.
it is the
It's
thought that
okay.
counts.
I don't need it. I don't need it.
Well, yeah.
But
So
Olivia-
your 4 hours rest goes by without an additional hitch. When you wake up, Arjhan, you in order to recover from the temporary insanity, you need 8 hours or 4 hours.
It's a full rest.
It's a full
for
rest.
Arjhan.
Okay. So yeah, it would be 8 hours. So yeah, Cori, Caelum, the two of you are done, and you just see Arjhan is still like catatonic in front of this fireplace. You see one of the invisible servants is like cleaning up a little bit of drool on him, like making sure that he's not having a time.
There's just like an acid stain just going through.
Mm-hmm.
Melts the cloth. Caelum will just get down a little bit. Chester, when you get the chance, could you get some ibuprofen and a little bit of water for when Arjhan awakes?
There is just a slow, gentle nod, and then Chester, heavy quotes, fades off. You see that they all have like, it's a hello, my name is, until you say their name, and then it says Chester on it. And they look down, and you can see that there is like a little emote of like, oh, finally, it's me, I've been named. And then they like go off. Chester is now a recurring servant.
I've got to name all of them, god damn it.
It's slime time again.
You're named Goblin A.
Goblina, of course.
Goblino, you're brothers and sisters now.
So
A Yonsei and C Yonsei.
But yeah, so Caelum, they are gonna go and get Arjhan
Connor.
his meds.
Connor. Bay once and bay twice.
This is a game. This is a fun game we play with our friends every week, and I miss it terribly whenever we don't get to do this. Speaking of things that we are missing terribly, Philip is gone. Just as a heads up for Cori and Caelum, like,
Yeah, like Cori's in the middle of like pacing with a now like depleted sending stone. She walks by Philip's room and realizes that there's like no sounds inside, and she like peeks in a little bit.
gone.
Just like
nothing. Like, his stuff is there, but he's not there.
well, that's going to trigger a small panic.
If Cori runs out to tell Caelum he's already casting teleport to get to Sir Cellier, looks up
She
at
just
her.
runs straight past.
Oh, I had a joke.
You can do a joke if you wish.
If you tell him, he says, "Not my goat, not my farm," and then teleports away.
No, it's just a running past yelling, Philip!
All right, so
Yeah. That.
okay, so yeah, you rush past. You are out, like, go outside, heavy rainfall, stormy skies, and you can see that like the forested area that the Curious Cabinet propped up with is like a quarter gone from when Gwen was raging out and just chopping down trees earlier this very evening. And you're guessing, as you are familiar with Gwen needing some alone time, that's probably the direction that she went. However, you are not hearing any kind of tree falls or any of those such things. But as you follow the direction of these felled trees, you end up getting to a clearing, and you see on a massive stump that there is just like an 8-foot tall brick shit house of a man who's sitting with his hand in his forehead with like a piece of paper in front of him that says like, and you hear him mouthing like borrowed for a, no, that doesn't make any sense. He crumples it up and he throws the paper, and you see that he like takes an axe that he has and shaves off part of the tree that he's on, pulls up the tree shaving and starts writing on it. Like he's just like manufacturing paper to try and write a note.
How big is he?
He looks like he's taller than Grayskull. Like this is like human proportions, but at least 8 feet tall, missing an eye, big white, like imagine Santa from Klaus.
Do I recognize him?
You do not, but make a religion or an insight check.
Okay.
And Ryth is like, there is like this, like, oh, that's interesting. That seems to come from Ryth.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20. You do not know this person directly, but they are ever present. They are the storm. You recognize this individual based off of vibe checks alone. This is Talos. And Talos is having difficulty writing a letter.
Right.
And then like you see like their head tilts up and clocks you.
Hello.
Talking is so much easier. And they stand up and like lumber towards you. And say, I needed to talk to the two small ones. Hope you don't
Philip
mind.
and Gwen.
Yeah.
I see.
Kid's been fucking with my champion.
I see. And how long will they be gone?
Well, normally, nobody makes it past round 3, so I can't really give you a good time frame. She'll be back, no problem. I can't guarantee the boy.
Round 3 with whom?
Thumb to chest.
Oh.
Look, he's got, like, the weird... Look, you know Tharsden, right? Like, he's not...
I understand,
right,
yes.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Needs a little sense beat into him. No, maybe don't do that thing. Easy enough. Can do. However, you know, it's not just him that I have to fight, and if anything, Gwen will be like, no, fight me instead, in which case, awesome. Great time. Been looking forward to that one for a while.
I am in a precarious situation here.
You look like you want to say something. Come on, spit it out. Not every day that you get to talk to the storm.
No, of course. This is something that is a part of her practice, right? This is sacred.
As sacred as any blood match.
I understand.
It's also like, you know, it gives them some time to work things out.
That might be the best thing for them, yes. I will say that if any harm comes to them, you and I will have to have words.
Oh, we're having words right now, and I'm letting you know harm will definitely come to them. It's like an agreed upon harm, though. Like, I'm not just like, I'm sneaking up, you know, I'm not being
No,
uncouth
excessive.
From, like,
unwarranted harm.
Okay, excessive, I cannot guarantee. Unwarranted, that part I understand. But, like, I did uppercut a man halfway up Ysgard.
Recently?
It was... time works a little differently, but I would say within the last millennia, yeah.
Oh.
He was talking shit.
I see. All right.
He's a god now, it's fine.
Do what you must. I'm just warning you.
And when you say that you're warning him, Talos, like, swells up in front of you and has the embodiment of a dark cloud on the horizon that you can see lightning crackling. And he says, warning me of what? What are you gonna do?
I was warning you that we were going to have words. And what follows words, you might not like. I'm gonna get my shit!
Talos is going to, like, put his hand onto his chin. How about this? I'll leave you time to find your words that we'll have in case anything goes bad, okay? And in the meantime, and you see that he puts his hand against a tree trunk. His fingers dig into the tree bark themselves. He lifts the tree up out of the ground, roots and all, hefts it, catches it on his backhand, and throws it like a spear into the sky. You see that a lightning bolt shoots down and catches the tree and ignites it, erupts it, and bursts it into flames.
Cori doesn't react. She just continues to make eye contact.
If you're looking to say words, you best check the stories first. Anyways, and he, like, pats you on the shoulder. Good meeting you, mantle bearer. Have a good one. And there is just another flash of lightning, and Talos is gone. And you see that, like, the burning, raining tree bits are just...
Like, just everything smells like ozone. Like, Cori's hair is all frizzed up. Just gonna turn around and stiffly walk back into the mansion. Gwen and Philip are gone. Hello?
There is the remnants of a spell circle. As Caelum, I believe you had said that you were teleporting to Sir Tellier.
Could we also say that he did the things that were needed for Rasa to get to where they need to?
Yeah. Where is that?
There is a ring of spell storing that is in the middle of the spell circle and a small note that says polymorph on it.
Okay. Now, quick question.
Yeah.
How are you going to get to a place where Rasa is to polymorph her?
The ring of spell storing can cast polymorph.
Okay.
That's
She's
one
on
of
the astral
those
sea.
two that either Cori or Arjhan can use to cast on Rasa.
Yeah, he left the ring of spell storing with Arjhan.
That's not the issue.
What's the
You are
issue?
all on the material plane, and Rasa is on the astral sea. So how will you get to Rasa to then polymorph?
Do you need to stick around long enough to send them to the astral sea?
Yeah, I'd need to... Okay.
Okay. Just wanted to establish that. Yeah.
The chicken is gonna eat the fox.
Yeah.
For some reason, I keep thinking Gideon can get...
the fox!
For some reason, I keep thinking Gideon can get to the astral sea. But no, it's Avernus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
that's actually just
No.
Arjhan.
That's Newell.
So Caelum is just sitting down, reading a book, looks up. He what?
Philip and Gwen are gone.
How long? With who? Why?
Just now, Talos marriage counseling, but with a fight.
They're gonna get their shit pushed in.
A little bit, probably.
Okay, well...
But remember, it's Gwen, so...
Caelum looks to Cori. Yeah, I remember. It's Gwen.
Don't discount her abilities.
No, I mean, she's gonna fight to the goddamn death.
If need be.
It's gonna happen. Talos is gonna have Philip by the neck at some point, and Gwen is gonna be like, "Hey, motherfucker, that's my husband!" And then she's gonna get smout where she stands.
What?
Don't discount her abilities.
I'm not discounting her abilities. She's tough. She can fight. I get that. Just sometimes she's impulsive.
If anything happens to her, you'll have to answer to us.
Yeah, all right. That sounds good.
I hope she breaks his hand.
Just a slow head nod from Caelum. Yeah, okay. That sounds fair, actually. What are we doing, Cori?
Our best.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
Is Arjhan awake yet?
I think he still has about 3 hours.
What should we do?
Shrugs. You want some tea?
Some tea would be lovely, actually.
I think we also have some scones. Let's do that. Stands, heads to the kitchen.
Okay. Yeah, and I would say that Arjhan, by the time that you finally come to after your long rest, there is just like some scones and a tea that is sitting in front of you. Your friends are there, and the last thing that you remember was 8 hours ago of doing a thing. So it's more of a just like, like when you can't remember that you went to bed kind of thing.
What happened?
Well, Philip's gone. Gwen is too.
More context? Is there more context?
They're with Talos for marriage counseling.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
With everything that marriage counseling with Talos would entail.
Oh.
Illustrate filled us in a little bit about that third heavenly object. It's the Traveler's Star. It comes by every now and then. Still no idea why Thaurissan wants to touch the petroglyphs, but
She didn't have any way to help.
there is... She put a word out for one of her followers to meet me up at Vascor. Saloon and Elistray pointed me in the direction of one of the their followers who could help me in hopefully restoring the petroglyphs so we have a little bit more context on why Thaurissan wants it. But I have to hop to Sir Cellier to pick them up.
How?
Well, so Caelum wheels out a chalkboard from out of nowhere and begins to draw diagrams on the on the chalkboard. You see, if I could turn the petroglyphs into a creature and then have someone cast restoration on them or regeneration on them, it should, in theory, restore the broken bits.
How do you go from petroglyph to creature?
Animate objects.
Do we know the nature of the petroglyphs?
It's a giant rock with drawings on it. Object.
It would be under your control.
Correct.
Intriguing. Would it work? She says, and she turns to Arjhan.
I don't know.
Only one way to find out, right?
Yeah. Is that what we're doing now?
I thought you were going to Avernus to speak with Tiamat.
And Zariel. Okay.
And we wanted to pick up Rasa, correct?
Well, first. Hey, Neil.
Just from the shadows.
Oh. I was going to ask if you knew if the queens were around and if they would be able to speak with me and Rasa at the Astral Sea.
They have specified that for you, they always will make time.
Right, but I do want to clarify that I am bringing company, and it will be very short because I also am going to need to talk to the Archduke of Avernus.
Understandable.
Okay.
I do not see a problem with this, but I will go and inform the Queen of your decision.
Perfect. Thank you.
Newell nods and then just back into shadows.
Wait. No. Waddles up with a thermos.
What is this?
Tea. The thermos is mine. So when you teleport out of here, it should still stay.
Your generosity has been noted.
You've been helping us all this time. It's the least I can do. All right.
And Newell kind of like has this look on them like, helping? Suppose you could say that. Just back into the shadows.
Then yeah, I guess I will need a ride to go pick up Rasa.
All right. Well, as long as Ross is okay with me having a quick nap in her trove, I should be able to make it back and then hop over to Cercelier.
Cori, where are you going?
That's a good question. Let me speak out of character for a moment because we planned on a lot of things tonight.
I thought Cori was going to head with Arjhan.
Yeah. I had in mind that I could speak with either Tiamat or Ren, but I could also speak to both. Does that make sense? Which way would be better?
You would have the keys to the house.
I'll go speak with Ren if this is the best time to do it.
Keys to the castle.
I'm asking
sure.
you guys.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Arjhan will, if Cori's ready to go, open up a door to Gideon. Let me mark off that spell.
Gideon's ready for you.
All right. Cori explains that she wants to speak with Ren and will take the keys and go.
Should I ask about what?
You're saying
what?
that's a Cori or Caelum?
Just out loud. Should I ask about what?
To be fair, we haven't spoken at length since I learned the name of the Raven Queen. And I think that there's still some wisdom from him that I need to glean.
Be careful.
I will. Bye.
Where are you going?
We're staying.
Okay.
Well, to Gideon, and Gideon, I believe, is in the stomping grounds at the moment.
You don't have to do anything, Caelum.
Small nosebleed.
But Cori will be in Gideon, and Gideon can go to Verstaine, where Rin is.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no extra legwork on Caelum's part.
Yeah, you're good to go, bub.
Okay.
And the bathhouse is up and running.
It's true. It's a whole ass town now. Okay. So, with that being said, Cori into Gideon, away, leaving Arjhan and Caelum. So, Astral Sea, pick up Rasa. And then to the Hells?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's do that one first. So that way we can start eliminating the sources of a potential migraine for our wizard boy as he tries to plan and plot out further developments. So, into teleportation circle, are able to get to the Astral Sea where Rasa is. And when the two of you arrive, Rasa is actually in, like, looking with, like, eyes wide and, like, listening intently to Bill and Ted that are back in the Astral Sea. They are no longer on the material plane. And the two of them are, like, mid-panicking. They're like, it was terrible! It came out and, like, there was this thing and then it just happened and, like, buildings were collapsing! And Ross is like, just like, like, just, like, listening in to them, like, exasperatingly describing this scene.
There's another consequence.
And Bill and Ted see the two of you just, oh my god, we're so glad that you guys, and did everybody else make it out okay? We lost track of you at the party, and oh, that's such a relief. Oh my god, I thought you were dead, but like Rasa said that you weren't, so I assume that like you weren't dead because you're like really strong and stuff, but like it was wild, man. It was absolutely wild.
Yes, it was, which is why we had to get out of there very, very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go back to the material plane anytime soon. The place is fucking weird, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything makes much more sense up here in wild space.
Yeah, I mean, up is down sometimes, and like, as long as you know that, like, it's fine. No, it was okay. If you made it out, basically, on that third day of the concert, during Power Word Thrill, like a bunch of goblins were like out in the mix of the concert, and then Johnny Gold, who was like super awesome at the party, he yelled, "Let's open this motherfucking pit!" And then there was just like a hell mouth that opened in the middle of the concert, and like zombies and like this weird like monster thing crawled out, and demons came out, and, like the whole city's gone, man. Well, not the whole city, but like most of the city is gone, man. What a concert! What a wild time! Like, we bought t-shirts to commemorate. It's gonna be sick to remember, but, like, kinda needs some calm down.
Huh.
Hell, oh, shit. They open a portal to Thanatos.
I don't know. I didn't stick around long enough to find out.
Good.
No, that's why we're here, man. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And Rasa just sort of like looks at, like, having listening to this, looks at the two of you and just, I am also glad that you are safe. If there is, and you see that she's sort of like clacking her nails on the floor. If there is any reason to go back to that place, let me know. If not, I'm sure that this wanton destruction is as terrible as Bill and Ted say. Anyways, Arjhan, it's good seeing you again. Caelum.
Hi. So Rasa, Caelum is about to go to find more magic practitioners to look into some rocks. Would you like to accompany me to the Queen's domain?
And you see that she like stands on her hind legs a little bit, like front claws up on the chest. I would like that very much. I am a little I don't know how well transporting from here goes. Usually Vlaakith will once we are old enough, once we have gained amassed enough treasures, she will return us to Avernus. Do you have a... I assume that you have some sort of way.
Neil, can you reach us? And also, would you be able to bring Rasa and I to the Queens?
And Newell will inform you that regretfully,
shit,
they need to be a humanoid in order for the transporting to work. For what Newell is capable of.
I got this. Rasa, do you have any imagery here that you would be in humanoid form that depicts a humanoid that you wish to turn into?
Will I have skin? I don't know if I want skin.
Wait a minute. Is that a little... I could do a draconian, right? Is that offensive?
Teleportation doesn't just work on creatures.
I meant to you, but alright.
If you can make me similar to Arjhan, there would be no offense.
Okay.
I ask to keep my wings.
Can do. If I concentrate on this for an hour more, it becomes permanent until someone comes along to dispel it.
I would rather that not be the case.
All right, so I'll just
no offense to any of you, but
oh no, if I were a dragon, I'd want to be a dragon for life.
It
like,
is a rather nice experience, yes.
Y'all are cool.
Thank you.
Eat all your problems like small village. Nom.
Well,
sorry. I'm gonna set a mental timer for 1 hour, and then dismiss the spell right before it ticks.
I mean, as soon as we make it across the threshold, feel free to drop it.
Will do. Rasa, is it okay if I take a nap in your trove? I won't take anything.
I will know if you do. Sleep here as well you want.
Cool.
Do I have the other ring, and does it also have a polymorph?
Yeah, I would have put a polymorph in there.
Cool.
All right. True polymorph, red dragonborn with wings and a tail.
There is like a Sailor Moon transformation sequence on this large dragon, but then at the end they are like standing there as like as tall as Arjhan is, but like the red dragon head. they're wearing like nice clothes, I guess, because polymorph, you can just like magic.
Also give him an outfit.
Yeah. And so Rasa is like, this is an experience. And she looks at Arjhan. How do you do this?
Oh,
Years of
walking's gonna be
practice.
a problem.
And Rasa will like take a step forward, and then you see like stabilizes with the wings as like another step.
He'll grab her hand. Neil.
From the shadows.
Oh, hello. I believe we're ready.
Of course. And Newell will like motion to the shadow that they just came from, and you see that like it has kind of like an oily slick to it that you would recognize as Newell's passageway.
I'll give you two. I'll give like a 10-second buffer. And then dismiss it.
And we will cross into Avernus.
Okay. And crossing into Avernus, 10-second buffer goes by, and Rasa is like, she's not necessarily complaining, but she's like, how do you grab things with your feet?
Bless.
Yeah, I
understand.
I really don't.
And like before like transforming back, you'll see she uses a breath weapon, and like there's like this look of like disappointment that washes over her. But then like just how, and she'll like get her head down towards you. That existence was very strange.
Yeah, I much prefer you like this.
You can see that she sort of like kind of like sits up a little bit, and then Newell looks at Rasa and motions to Avernus, to Tiamat's domain, and says, Arjhan has requested to have you accompany him to see the queen. Are you ready? And Rasa, like, you can see is like getting like the little, like, she's getting a little shimmy shake going on. And she says to you, I have lived for many years. This is the best day of my life. I'm glad I am here with you.
I just like hand on her shoulder, and yeah, I'll just go see Tiamat. Go see your god.
Yep. Okay. So the two of you are going to go see the god. Caelum, sleepy nap time. Sleepy nap time, so good.
Find familiar. T-Con finds a pile.
T-Con will like sit like next to you, and it's just like watching you while you sleep.
Oh, he had her in his arms and then just flopped over.
It's like little wood, a little wooden figures like trying to like realizes that they can't get out of your sleepy time grasp and just resign themselves. Like, I guess I will just watch in case any intruders come by. Yeah, your rest goes by uneventfully. Next stop, Sir Tellier?
Next stop, Sir Tellier.
Okay.
Smooths out hair.
And like it's like, roll a D100 for me for the teleportation into Sir Tellier.
Oh boy, oh boy. 83.
83? Okay, so yeah, you like you like teleport into into an alleyway or something where like it's not on top of a roof or in a group. Like you're like, you were able to locate a space that had just enough space with it, which is excellent. You know from the direction that Saloon and Mistra would have given you as to where the their follower who would know a regeneration spell would be. You would have to go to the Hunter's Quarry, or the Ceaseless Quarry, which is the Hunters Guild here in Cert's Hellier. And you see possibly the oldest dwarf that you have ever seen. And they have like a big ear horn, all that long white wispy beard, eyes kind of cataraxed over. And as you approach, they say, "Are you boy?
I'm sorry, what?
Boy, are you the boy?
Oh, yeah, hi.
Anyone told me the boy was coming."
Ah, yeah. Hello, I'm Caelum. Pleasure to meet you.
"Oh, come here." And he'll like, as you like, okay, like get closer, he'll like grab your shoulder and like this dude's like, he's strong, and like pulls you in and like gets a better look at you. Just Elvish, speak Dwarven very well. So I was told you require my assistance. Is that the case? My name is Olin.
Correct. Pleasure to meet you, Olin. I'm Caelum.
Okay. All right, Christopher. How can I help you today?
Well, I need someone who's able to cast the regeneration spell for a little project that I have going on.
Are you seeing if you can out-regenerate a troll? We used to do that when we were younger. I'm fucking with you, boy. Now, project, where's this project? Is it deeper within the mine?
Oh, no, it's north of Vascor.
Oh, that's rather far. Do you have a cart? Maybe a pillow? Nice warming stone, brittle bones, and all of that?
I can teleport us there.
Oh. Why didn't you say so? Let's go. On to it.
All right, Grandpa. And he'll like put a hand on the like smaller dwarf's back and just start walking with him.
Oh, thank you. Feet aren't as attached to the ground as they used to be.
Oh, would you like to not walk?
I am not so old that I need the assistance of one of those wheelie chairs, boy.
Oh, I was just gonna summon a floating disc that you could stand on.
Floating disc, yes. Give me one of those. The floating disc is... Do you happen to have any hard candies?
Oh, actually, Russell, peppermints.
You are truly blessed by the deities. And there's just this old dwarf eating hard candy on the back of your floating disc as you just like, fucking what the hell? Like walk out of this direction.
Motherfucker took candy from a stranger and then got into his van.
I said I had free internet.
Gig speed? Hell yeah. Get me in that van. You said rocks, markings north of Vasco.
Oh yeah, the petroglyphs.
Okay. I think I remember those. They have the funny little mans on them, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
Do enjoy funny little mans.
And Caleb said the plural is men, but all right.
Look, common is not his first language.
It's fine.
Are you like teleporting again?
Yep, that's a 7 and 8th spell slot gone, baby.
Okay. And when you arrive outside, because you've not been to the northernmost reaches, you can get to Vascor at least, and then it would still take a little bit to go northward. But when you arrive, you just like the dwarf is like blinking from having been under the ground for however long to now like direct sunlight. Do you have ginger, boy? Do you have any ginger?
Spell component pouch. There's like piece of ginger.
Yeah, I think you just see like they're just eating it.
That has been in there for a while.
And they like raise the eyebrow, just chewing on this ancient piece of ginger. It's good for the digestions.
Right. Holding 2 fingers up to an ear. He's gonna contact Oz and see if they're around.
Yeah, Oz is around.
Hi, Oz. It's Caelum. Back in Vascor. I need transportation to the petroglyphs. Are you available?
Funny you ask about transportation. I have a invention I've been meaning to try. See you at the gate.
Tensor's floating disk for Grandpa?
It's disgusting. Sounds I did not know my friends could make, and I wish I didn't. Yeah, Caelum, as you are at this gate, you hear a strange rumbling sound that comes from Vascor itself, and you hear people kind of shouting, trying to get out of the way, as what looks to be it's a front center wheel on a mechanical contraption with a little riding seat along the back, and then there is another wheel to stabilize, and it seems like there is some sort of motor attached underneath as Oz is trying to get this effectively a motorcycle up out of Vascor to you, and you see that they raise their goggles up and over yelling over the of this motorcycle. Did you need a ride?
Yes. What?
Him too?
Yes. Again, what?
And you can see that Olin is currently he's touching the chassis and everything. You see that he gets his hand close to the engine and pulls it back because it's very hot. And as Caelum, he offers for you to get onto the back of this motorized contraption. That is where we are going to go to our break for the evening. We're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go to a place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see all you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon! And we're back! Hello, and welcome!
Simon!
I knew it. I was waiting for it.
So I was reading about fun facts. Fun fact, It's not illegal to laugh loudly in Hawaii. In fact, they prefer aloha.
Wahoo.
No, that's a different place. God damn it.
They actually prefer mahalo, but it doesn't actually I got Levi. That's good. That's good.
It's good. That's what we really needed. Okay, so where we last left off, Cori was going to visit with Ren, Arjhan was going to visit Tiamat with Rasa, and Caelum, you were hanging out with an incredibly old man, as well as an inventor with a motorcycle. So I think that we should start off with Cori, in order to...
Thank God.
Yeah, you're good. You got some time. Have a beverage, take a nap, I don't know. I mean, don't take a nap, but like... hang out for a little bit. Meanwhile, Cori, into Gideon. Gideon has put up a picture of what looks to be a heavily fortified city that now hangs over that wall slot that has the Tharazden book behind it. And Gideon ensures you that the reason they did that is to let other people know that it is safe.
Excellent.
If the house could nod. Okay. Destination. Or
to the
simply
stain.
rest. And Gideon will acknowledge, and within 10 minutes, the house moves on its own, as it always does, and it finds itself in the place that it always does, in Verstein. And Cori, this is your first time actually being here in a while. You do not frequent this place. This is kind of like Arjhan's domain, and half the time that Arjhan was like, I'm going to Verstein, you're like, cool, I'm going to the Feywild. So now, having been around at the town's inception, where now you can see that there are like trees that are planted throughout. This is like the epitome of a walking city. And most cities in D&D Fantasyland are indeed walking cities until Ozzy's creation of the kinetocycle really takes off. But that being said, he showed up with it in front of you, Caelum.
You said takes off. It what?
Yeah, before it takes off, like before it catches on.
I thought you meant fucking fly.
Hey, it's not too late for this. Anyways. So Cori kind of exiting out, like it has almost that Feywild feel to it. Like there are people that are still milling about. You can see that what once was a very successful food cart has been turned into a lovely bakery. And it seems like Fiorette and Winty are always packed with people coming to try and taste their wares. And it seems like, all things considered, this has turned into kind of a vacation spot. This is nice. People are living here. And you can see that there's also signage directing to a hot spring now, which is not something that was there previously. But it does seem like this is, it's rather nice. And you see that across the way, at the forge itself, Kendek has he's in the process of cooling a blade, and noticing you, he'll sort of give a heavy-handed wave, or I guess heavy-handed is in sadness in referring to. I'm just meaning he's got a big thick glove on, and his hand is boop 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 boop.
Thick-handed.
Yeah, thick-handed wave. Got at least 3 C's on that motherfucker. And so he will wave at you, just kind of acknowledge your presence. But you are in pursuit of one particular individual, and you can see that Stroom has made their way up to the house as well, having recognized the house and the smell, but is looking for Arjhan kind of thing. But yeah, it seems that you have arrived at this city, and this city is doing well. If you would like to find Ren, you can either wait around at the forge, ask Kendek where he is, or if you'd like, just make an investigation check.
Sure thing. Well, first thing she's going to do, she's going to drop by Fiorette and Wendy's, and she's going to get a basket of rolls.
Freshly made. There's a nice like honey glaze over it. There's sesame seeds that are like on top of it as well. It's very nice.
And then she's gonna stroll over to Kendek, and offer him a roll, first of all.
Kendek gladly accepts it and just like he has a big. It's like Arjhan eating food, right? Like when you all go out to breakfast, each of you gets like one medium bowl, and Arjhan can eat like 3 bowls of food, no problem. Like built different.
Of course.
Yeah, you got that dog in him. You just
Hold
gotta
on,
keep
I need.
eating.
I've got an interloper that needs to. I've got a bag or a bowl of chips here, and Morticia loved chips.
Chippies.
And she's already had her one.
She doesn't know she only gets one.
She does, actually. She's a lot smarter than Bram. All right. Kendek gets a roll.
Okay.
And then I ask him where Ren is.
And he
where
will
he
say,
might be found.
Ren can currently be found at the building that is currently designated as like a city hall kind of thing. Ren was put in charge of building this city as basically as they wanted, and they seem to just be like just really loving the fact that they can play The Sims with just this whole town and make it exactly the way that they want it.
He seems to be good at that. Cori thanks Kendek, offers him another roll.
Yep. Kendek is always hungry and always ready for another roll.
And then strolls on down to City Hall.
Okay. And this City Hall building, you can see it looks modest, right? It does not look grandiose. It is not trying to make itself the center of attention in this town. Clearly, nobody is coming to a vacation resort to go to City Hall. For the most part, I mean, like, who knows? Eventually there could be weddings here, and then that's when you would need City Hall, but it's also, like, it's D&D. Really, you just need a cleric with a ceremony spell, and then a wedding can happen anywhere you please.
Essentially, yeah.
But when you arrive, you can see that Ren is in the process of doing some paperwork. They have, or he has a, it's like a receptionist to kind of like, oh, he's busy right now. But everyone in town who is a long-standing resident knows your group. And also, oh, when the house is in the vacant lot, if you recognize the people from that house, like, give them what they want kind of thing. Like, you guys made this town. Obviously, for the most part, you do feel like you should pay for things still. But as far as, like, ease of access into buildings or having direct lines of communication with anybody, that stands to be said, no problem. Going into Ren's office, there are shelves that are lined with scrolls, and you can see that he's in the middle of kind of looking over what looks to be zoning for farmland, like trying to figure out where best to, like, how to break up acreage in the surrounding area in order to get that. Now, one of the other interesting things about this, seeing Ren for the first time really since acquiring Rythe begins to not necessarily vibrate, but you are getting that vibe where it's like something is off about this person. As I believe, let me just check here, because what are the passive abilities on Rythe again? I know that I made the item, but
well, I mean, like, we used to be more it used to be advantage on insight checks, but we've decided that it's more like a case-by-case basis, depending on what Rythe knows or feels about a particular person.
Got it. Let me just check here real quick. Boo. Ah, that's the part. You can see the true form of any shape changer or creature concealed by illusion or transmutation magic.
Oh.
Ren's clothes, there. Ren's mannerisms, body, everything. They have, instead of the bald that you were used to seeing, it is short white hair and verdant green eyes. And they are in the process of writing out these papers. And when they see you, just... Oh, I wasn't expecting company. Cori, how can I help you today? Is Arjhan with you?
Can you explain again what I'm looking at here? Like,
You, as a member of the Feywild, you would know this to be the markings of a doppelganger.
intriguing. She's just gonna like sort of like look at him and then like look around the room as if she's gonna find like the real Ren just hanging out somewhere. And then she leans over the desk and says, "I'm sorry. Where is Ren?"
They look at you, confused. I'm right here.
She just sort of
Am
like
I
stands
not
up and
supposed
starts.
to be? Are you okay?
She starts tapping her chin. Sorry, I'm just trying to decide if this means that Ren was never a dragon to begin with, or if he simply has someone covering for him.
Ren will stand up and closes the door. I don't know where you're getting your information from. I have always been a dragon. I am the leader of the Gilskari Woods. I watched you unravel in front of me as you learned the Raven Queen's true name.
Can I do an insight or something on him?
Yeah, do an insight.
Just like blatantly squinting at him like 10?
A 10?
I don't think that's gonna do anything.
I mean, you do have advantage because of the...
It was with advantage.
Oh, boy. Yeah. This doesn't look like Ren. Not the Ren that you know. You know that, like, you are able to see through this, like, mystical illusion. But, like, the mannerisms, everything about them is still Ren, but that's what a doppelganger wants you to think.
Right. Yeah. No, she's gonna say that may be, but what I'm looking at right now is not a dragon.
That's very interesting. And what exactly are you looking at? Coriander. What is it you
This sounds
see?
threat. Is this a threat?
No. This is a sheer curiosity. What is
Your
it
curiosity.
you see?
Your curiosity has been dangerous for me in the past.
Well, bygones be bygones. I made this town, you know? I'm doing good work. Even a rats came by. So I've heard. Spent some time in the pool, healed up a little bit. He has his wings back now because of Arjhan and myself. So I'll ask you again, what is it that you were seeing?
She's gonna stay standing, and describe features.
And you can see that there is a smile that curls up on his face, and it does have that like almost cat-like grin curl at the side. Fascinating. Years. Hundreds and hundreds of years. You were the first.
To see?
Yes. For lack of a better word, yes.
Would you like to explain? Because I'm afraid I'm at a loss.
I am a dragon, but not a dragon. Salren is indeed a dragon, and that is the name that I go by. I am Salren, The real Salren has not been on this plane in quite some time. But green dragons are sneaky. Green dragons have a duplicitous nature about themselves. Consider me a fan. You know? I come from a place far to the north. Very cold place. Very ancient place. And I took it upon myself one day to leave. To go out. Away from the cold. Away from the dark. And I decided that I was going to travel a little bit. And travel I did. I made my way all up and down the coast. Learned as much as I could. And, well, along the way I learned a thing or two. And you can see that they changed their shape into Farron. They changed their shape. They changed, like, their face into Fiorette to Winty. You see that they changed their shape down to that of a cat that sits on the table. And they changed their shape again back to Ren. To become a dragon is a little bit harder when you haven't seen one in person yourself, but eventually you learn a thing or two. I'm sure your friend Caelum has been able to transform into things that he's only ever seen in books or read about or understood the anatomy thereof.
So what are you really?
I am one of the many eyes of the woods, to put it bluntly. And I learned a long time ago how to separate myself to different forms. I believe I am, this point, the 10th Salren? 9th? You see, Shar taught us a trick a long time ago and indebted one of us to it. We used it to create another version of ourselves who killed the original, thus freeing ourselves out of the contract. It was an absolutely clever play. By me, of course.
It was Shah who taught you how to do this.
Well, taught me, but not me. The old me. The old me, yes. That's why I was indebted to her, and as such I had to tell you the name of the Raven Queen.
Cori looks exasperated and she just sits down.
You're more than welcome to take a seat. Would you like a biscuit? Snack?
I was going to offer you a roll.
Oh, I would love one. Is this one next door?
Just like, yeah. Yes. She just hands the whole basket to him.
And you see, just hop.
Is this something that you can teach someone else?
What part? Changing into another person? That one's a little bit more difficult. I mean, there are thespians that are able to do that one. Teaching someone how to turn into an animal, a piece of wildlife, also a little bit more difficult. Teaching you how to turn into a dragon? That is a secret I cannot pass down.
I don't want to turn into anything else. I'm asking, how do you split yourself into, well, two?
Now, in all my years, I do believe that you are the first to ever ask me that question.
Seems like a day for a lot of firsts.
I assume so. You know my secret. That's not exactly something I like having going around, you know. I'm still doing my best to follow the Queen's wishes.
Is that a threat?
No. I'm just... There's nothing threatening about this. I thought we were speaking candidly.
You have to be honest. The last time I sought any sort of knowledge from you, I unraveled.
That wasn't my fault. I warned you that bad things would happen if you found out that information, and you chose to anyways.
Oh, certainly.
Sorry, that is victim blaming.
Well, now that you've admitted to it, I don't know whether or not to trust you.
I'm trying to be honest here, you know? I run not just this city, I also have the Gilskari to report to. Still, they are my children for... well... It's a strange relationship with them. I will admit, because I did start the Gilskari while traipsing around as a dragon. Because, I mean, who wouldn't? Like, you're large, you have wings, you could breathe poison. I mean, not all dragons, obviously, but...
Did you care about the Gilskari at all?
Yes. Wouldn't you? Now, the Gilskari are... how do I put this? The home that I had, that I was raised in, that I became who I am inside of, did not suit me to what it was. My people are capable of many, many, many things. But the one thing that we were never capable of was an appreciation for the dragons. I have spent lifetimes learning as much as I can, researching, becoming one myself, and not in the way that Tylera and her misguided group attempted to do. I am a dragon, through and through. I am also an Eye of the Wood. That is a fact. But to the Gilskari, I am a protector. I am their chief. I am beloved. And I do what I can to make sure that they get everything that they need, that they are protected. I have watched them grow from a disjointed group of people to having their own culture, their own society. Rightfully, they don't need me there anymore. They believe in the dragon on top of the mountain.
Do you miss them?
Yes. Yes, I do. But thankfully, I have someone who I trust explicitly, or implicitly, rather, watching over them in my stead. And by that I mean me.
Of course.
Now, to get back to your previous question, I can be distant from myself for thousands of miles away. Oh, sorry. No. How do I put this? Why is it that you ask to start?
Well, why did you do it?
Why did I do it?
Yes. Why do you split yourself into multiples?
Because it is never done. Anything, any work that I do, any pursuit that I have, it is never truly finished.
And there's always something else pulling you away.
Exactly. You get it. Whether it's falling in love, whether it is wanting to write a play, whether it's wanting to see something that you started come to fruition. I planted a tree 200 years ago, and it is one of the strongest in the forest. And I would rather each one of myself be snuffed out than see that tree cut down. You can say that it is selfish. However, I carry with me every single piece of knowledge related to Solren, as we are the same. I consider myself the last dragon, other than Arathsk. He stays on his island for the most part, but what I'm trying to say is the reason why I do these things is because there are fewer people that I would trust to do what I need to do than myself. Originally, it started with, well, there was the whole sundering thing that was happening, and all of the dragons were going, and I had already sort of like started to instill myself as one of the dragons. So instead of actually doing that, I split myself and then sent myself as a dragon through one of the portals to maintain it. But then after it closed, I could just go back to being a dragon, and people would be like, oh, how crafty Solren is. The real Solren was a ruler of the Warring Kingdoms. Well, I say real, like I'm not. Died, however. It's not important, for that matter. What is important is understanding why. Because in order to do what it is that I do, you have to be willing to make sacrifices. You have to be willing to give something up every single time you do this. A little piece of you. You have to be willing and trusting enough in your own self to be able to create a new version of you. It is the secrets of the Magen. Effectively, what are you willing to give up to create a new part of you? Because once it happens, there's no putting it back. They are their own person, and you just sort of have to watch as a parent would. But thankfully, they are you. But you do get a little weaker by doing it. That's why usually when I make a new version of myself, I sort of have like a structured run to go, like, okay, like, go a mile that way, there's going to be some boars, kill the boars, okay, go a little bit further on that way, okay, there's going to be some bandits that I may have paid to attack, okay, kill them, and then, like, you steadily, like, get more powerful until you feel comfortable enough to create another one.
That sounds exhausting.
It's a lot of planning, a lot of legwork, but here I am. Obviously, you don't have to do what it is that I do, but if you had the chance to theoretically live forever, and all you had to do was die in order to get it, wouldn't you trust yourself with the future?
Is that what you had to do?
Many times. Like I said, I am not the first Solren, nor the second, nor the third. I've watched myself die many times.
And you've kept this a secret all this time.
Who would I trust with this kind of sorcery other than myself?
Just sounds really lonely.
You would think that, but when several Gilskari, or the Gilskari in general, have a day dedicated to how much they love and appreciate you, it offsets the loneliness a little bit.
I don't know if I do have it in me to let go of a piece of myself like that. Rather like to be a part of me. I'd rather like that to be a part of me again one day.
If you are seeking to do what I do, as far as I am aware, there is no group hug. And then you all reform. From what I've heard, the Queen is able to do that, but she is as old as the stars. Whatever she has and is able to do is rightfully beyond me. She sees me as one of her followers, and I am. Because the great work, just as this Gilskari, praise me and make me feel less lonely. Don't you think that she would like that too? To be praised, to be appreciated for what she's done.
Perhaps.
And without her, realistically, would you even be doing all of this Dark Star things? If you did not follow the path lines that brought you here today?
We do owe a lot to the Queen.
We do.
Would you be willing to teach me what you know?
I would be able to. Though, as you are, I think that we may have to dial back what the outcome is. The process for creating a duplicate of yourself is an arcane feat. Realistically, your friend Caelum would be able, I would be able to teach him, but I don't know if that would be either smart or safe to give him the ability to create a unchained duplicate of himself to simply roam the countryside.
No, perhaps not. But to be fair, his ability to travel is almost as if there is a duplicate of himself.
As it happens.
Teach me what you know, and at least in that can be one more way that you are less alone.
I suppose it's time. And you see that they like roll their chair back, and there is a latch underneath the like where their chairs. They move a little rug aside. There's a ladder that extends down into like this underground cellar. Motions. Or would you prefer that I go in first?
If you wouldn't mind.
I'll make it more appealing for you. And you see that they turn into a little canary and then go down.
Right on the nose. She'll go down the ladder.
And you see that in this basement, illuminated by candlelight, there is what looks like a dais, or more of a kind of altar, that has just a sheet over what you can see is a humanoid form. And Ren will go over to like a built-in like stone work shelf, and you see that he takes a crystalline rod and he says, "This part sucks. But it ultimately is to prove a point. And you see that he will pull back the sheet, and there is what looks like a wooden mannequin that is dressed in, like, the exact duplicate of Ren's clothing. And he'll take a jar of blood, presumably his, and he will open up the chest on this large mannequin-esque doll, and he'll put the blood in, clasp it shut, and he'll make sure that, like, clothes are all fine and ready again. And he says, this is not a cheap lesson to exhibit, but this is effectively how it all works. And he begins to cast a spell. And from this spell, you can see that the lights begin to flicker, and it's a ritual casting. It does take a little bit of time, but he sort of begins to move this crystalline rod in its arcane form, and Wraith is like just like it feels. Vibes are off. Vibes are off. I don't like it. And Ren will at the end of it tap the crystalline rod onto the wooden mannequin, and as he does, the crystalline rod shatters. There is a glow of that same verdant green that Ren has in his eyes, and you can see that Ren, like, ages a little bit. And as that green fades away, there is another Ren laying there, like, chest breathing, no longer a wooden doll. This is the nature of my magic. This is what I'm able to do. Congratulations, it's a boy.
Every time?
If I want it to. I mean, I myself was born male. And I've been comfortable with that for a while.
Sounds dull.
Truly is. And you see that he takes a knife and just plunges it into the other Saul Ren's chest.
What?
This one's underbaked. It's fine. I'll just do it again later.
I think Cori runs up to it to see, like, if there's anything she can do for it.
It's a humanoid corpse. If you would like to, like, revivify or anything, and Ren's just like, I mean, realistically, like, I didn't have the boars ready. That wasn't going to be for another couple of months. And bandits are very hard to come by around this town. You all did a very good job kind of clearing them out.
Stop. This isn't right.
I mean, that's your definition of things. You come into my home, you ask me how to do my magic. I show you an example of what I was to do. He would have understood.
Ren? And, like, there is a warning in her voice as she says that. And she's just gonna look down at the corpse and, like, put a handkerchief over its face. This isn't right for me.
I never said that it was. I said that you would have to be willing to sacrifice something.
I think that you've finally found something that I'm not willing to sacrifice.
Suit yourself. Now, that being said, I would ask politely that you not tell people what it is that I'm doing here. I don't think Arjhan would particularly... I don't think that he would probably mind, right? And I would prefer that he would just... I don't need that. He doesn't need that. He's very stressed. He's running multiple businesses, and he doesn't need to know about what I get up to with copies of myself.
Cori starts walking over to the ladder, just sort of like glances over her shoulder and says, "Is this necromancy?"
No. A little bit of transmutation.
I don't know what Arjhan would think.
Well,
You trusted me with this secret.
I've trusted you with 2 secrets this day. My true nature and my true nature. What and who I am.
If this ever comes to harm anyone else,
It won't. The only one this harms is me. And then maybe some bandits, but like... I usually find the bad ones. Usually.
but if it does,
Then you know
I will
where
have
live.
all of your heads.
Understood.
I think Cori looks back at the corpse again and like feels sick to her stomach.
Okay. Yeah, and Cori, as you were just like, what the fuck? Like, exiting out of this building.
Indoor, what the fuck?
I swear to God, she doesn't set out for any of these things.
No, you just talk to the most unhinged NPCs that I have. It's great. It's fine.
Cori is literally fuck around and find out.
She asked.
She does a lot of finding out.
Meanwhile, off in the hells, Arjhan, you and Rasa, were going to go and meet the queen. You were going to go and meet up with, you were going to try and ask about Zariel as well. Rasa she's excited. She thinks that this is great. She's having a time. She's in Avernus. It's very warm. She likes it being warm. She's walking with you. She likes walking with you. She likes flying with you better, but like understandable, you know, and all of that. And yeah, Newell will escort you to the Queen's chamber, and it is that little precipice area where usually Arjhan, it is just the 2 of you. And when the Queen turns around, Rasa just immediately like you can see is like hyperventilating, and like little sparks are like coming out of her nose because it's like meeting a celebrity, right?
Is it Prime or is it the Queen's?
It is Prime.
Oh.
And Rasa is just like if you've ever seen, it's like I think it was like the guitarist of Metallica that like handed a fan his guitar after a show, and the dude's just like the most like I cannot process emotion. That is what Rasa is doing, of just like witnessing and being here for this. And Tiamat nods and says, Arjhan, Rasa of the Astral Sea. And Rasa she knows my name. Like, very, like, as quietly as an adult red dragon can. She knows my name.
Hi. Wait.
It has been a while. Well,
It has, and I think things are progressing really quickly at this point.
Understood. With that being said, what is it that you need of me?
So tell me if I'm in over my head.
Every day of your life. But what else is new?
And I will lay out what we have right now.
Okay.
We have the protection of the Matron of Death. We have the Demon Omicron of Will. We have neutralized the Wand of Orcus.
Mm-hmm.
And we may have the means to coerce him to our location. I don't think that we could. I don't think that we're ready for an actual assault on Thanatos. And the only place in the planes that I know of that would be able to withhold a demon of his prowess, would be here in Avernus, where Zariel has been able to keep the Blood War at a stalemate.
She nods and seems to take in this information, and Rasa is like, she's heard parts of this information before. She doesn't know all of the proper nouns that you're talking about, but she is just like, oh, you need Red Dragon, like, burninate the shit out of things. Rasa is very on board for any of these plans. And the Queen says, all things considered, I think that this is rather well thought out.
But I don't want to do this without both you, who has a domain here, who has a shit ton of dead dragon souls in her immediate domain. And I don't want to do this without Zariel, because I don't want to tip the Blood War.
Well,
so I'm going to need to talk to her. But I don't want to do that if you're uncomfortable with that. Or if, like I said, I'm in too far over my head.
I think too far over your head would be if you were to meet Orcus and Thanatos. That is their domain. To meet them at their keep would be to fight them in their lair. That is rightfully over your head. Even summoning Orcus here, there will be a shift in the tide of the Blood War. Knowing what that means ahead of time gives us ample chance to prepare. As you stated, I do indeed have the souls of many dead dragons here that I would rather not, Orcus not, utilize for his own means. However, I believe we can make this work here. I can get you in contact with Zariel.
Perfect, that was my question.
She will be particular about the terms of the battlefield. But she did not take over this role without ample forethought. I will find the best place that I know of for this hollowing, as you described it. Avernus is rife with death. Orcus will still be strong, but you seem to have removed quite a few of his more dangerous abilities and weaponry. And I see that you have brought a friend as well.
Right. Rasa has offered to speak to Queen Blacketh to see if she could spare any reinforcements.
And
if that's something that you wish.
Tiamat looks at Rasa, and Rasa is like, you can see like it is like that dry mouth, like nerves of speaking with this person that she respects and reveres. And Tiamat walks up to her and says, "You would do this to help him." And Rasa silently nods. And Tiamat then reaches up and places her hand onto Rasa's muzzle. And you can see that there is a glow that happens. And she says, "Then you are to be my lieutenant." And when she says this, there is like a glow around Rasa that results in like this wicked barding. Like, it's not for riding, but it is like battle raiments on this red dragon. And Rasa, like, her eyes go wide at this as she like doesn't know if she needs to say thank you or yes or any of these things. And she is just nodding, and she and Tiamat then reaches out and holds out a scroll to Rasa. And she says, "Tell Vlaakith that in order to fight in the Blood War, I will need my lieutenant." Now, a lieutenant is not a leader without a squadron. Do you believe that you can pick out a group of your finest to assist Arjhan? And Rasa just, yes, my queen. I certainly can. Very good. Rasa, you are no longer Rasa of the Astral Sea. You are Rasa of the 6th Legion. You will do well here. And Rasa just like puts her head down, just, "Yes, my queen." And Zarya, or then Tiamat will hand you a scroll, Arjhan, and says, "I cannot summon Zariel directly here. That is not within the bounds. However, if you show her this, or any of those working amongst her station, this will get you direct access. A meeting."
Thank you. Do you know what vague direction?
She points to the one singular city. And she will look at you, and then look at Rasa, and say, "Do you think that you can give him a lift?" And Rasa nods, and then like lowers a shoulder, Arjhan, for you to climb aboard.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So on Rasa's back, deeper into the hells, to go and speak with Zariel on the back of the newly promoted Rasa. This is a great day for her.
My girlfriend has a title and a car.
Yeah.
She is the car.
Well, yes.
It's considered the company car.
And as Rasa is flying away, Arjhan, you can just feel welling up from her chest the mightiest like roar of triumph that she has ever had. Rasa, and like she's just like not like flying sporadically, but you can tell that like she's kind of like forgetting herself a little bit, of just like, God, like when you like leave a job interview and you fucking nail it and you're just like, "Oh, I did the thing. I am so cool. I'm getting Dairy Queen on the way home. Hell yeah!" Like that is what Rasa's mentality is right now. And she is just fucking here for it. She is happy as a clam. Happy as a red dragon who just got promoted by the queen herself. And Tiamat like Arjhan is like, you look back, you can see that Tiamat just has like the corner of a smirk on her face as she watches the two of you fly off. Like there is like that slow nod of like, I did the thing. So you are on your way to go speak to Zariel. Caelum, you have a very old dwarf. You have Oz/Osmond, who has shown up on, as he describes it, and he's in the process of describing it, his kinetocycle. He actually like reaches into a bag of holding and pulls out a smaller contraption, and he attaches it to the side, and it like builds and folds out into a sidecar. And he says, you can put the name's Olin. And he like, Olin like sits and this seat's not that comfortable. A little more padding next time.
Press digitation to warm the seat.
Ooh, seat heaters. Fancy. And
I gotta make him comfortable if I want him to work with me.
And then boom! Like there is like, you can tell again, like Osmond is not used to driving this thing because he made it and finished making it earlier this week. It is still a process, and you can tell this is what he would consider a field test. And so the two of you like are just rocketing forward, and it like pops up, hits, and like it's essentially it's going around the same speed as your Phantom Steed, but he doesn't have to resummon it. And he's yelling over his shoulder. He's like, I call it a Steel Defender! And he is just like rushing forward.
Saloon and Mistra are getting like the Twitter like bing bing bing, and they're all just prayers from Caelum, prayer from Caelum, prayer from Caelum, prayer from Caelum.
Prayer from Olin, and the prayer is faster. It's like this dwarf's beard is like whipping in the wind off to the side. He's having a great time.
Hands up in the air.
Oh, yeah! And like as he's like cheering, like a bug pops in, and just and like reaches, like pats your lap at like to get a peppermint again, but thankfully, with that in mind, this journey that would take several days on foot, like probably, yeah, at least like 3-4 days on foot, a couple days on horseback, you were there pretty quick. Like you are flying on this thing until eventually like as like the kinetocycle like kind of comes to a rolling halt, and like everyone's hair is like popped back a little bit. The dwarf's beard is stuck in like a horizontal.
Did you mean to stop it here, or did it run out of power?
It ran out of power, but you know what? If it helps everybody, I'll say that I managed to stop it here.
All right.
Okay. This thing's low on power. I'm gonna work on getting this fixed up. Because I don't think I can push this back.
Oh, I
to the
was
city.
gonna thank you with hopefully a visual treat.
Yeah. And he just sort of like detaches the sidecar. The sidecar like folds up into like a small cube. He puts that in, and then just like begins pushing his motorcycle.
So, finished it the end of the week, right?
Huh? Oh yeah. No. It's I figured out how to get the engine going, and then I just kind of slapped wheels on it, because I figured, like it's kind of like a jet board,
Yeah. What are you gonna do about like suspension when you get knocked up in the air? Do you have like a contingency on a feather fall on that thing, or?
Oh, I should though. And, like, everyone in this group is talking loud enough that Olin does not need, like, his hearing horn, because you're all shouting from, like,
We're
slightly
deafened.
deaf. Yeah, and, like, to him, it's just, like, the same normal level. Like, he was like, oh, it purrs like a kitten. This is great. I love this kinetocycle. Like,
I should get one for myself.
mm-hmm.
What if I could do this on a minecart? Oh, no.
And that's how we make trains.
And that's how we do Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah. But as you approach the area where you have been described that these petroglyphs are, you see in front of you, again, what looks to be about the length of a football field, with areas missing, chunks that have fallen down, other areas that look like they have been, like, maybe defaced by scraggly youths. There are some researchers that are, like, there, like, yes, like, in the process of, like, kind of looking at it a little bit more.
I'm gonna need everyone to stand back.
And they all look like, oh, and who are you? And then they recognize Osmond, and then they're like, fine. He thinks that he knows these ruins better than we do. And, like, disgruntled, walking away a little bit.
Okay. Caelum walks forward, kind of rolling up his sleeves, pauses, and turns to, can I call him Ollie?
Yeah.
Grandpa Ollie! I'm gonna need you to get that spell ready.
It's born ready. Born ready, boy. Point me where. Whose arm are we chopping? Who's going after the trolls?
He will stop, concentrate, and this enormous spell circle forms around him, just a blinding light. It's like twilight right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's towards the end of the day.
There is a large ball that forms in front of Caelum as he whispers, unlock the 10th seal. And he will crush it, and these thread of weave shoot out and insert themselves into the wall as he casts an overcharged animate objects.
Shit, okay. Roll a D100 for me.
Okay. It's the reverse of nice. 96.
Oh, okay. A 96. That's very good. Caelum, there is, like, as, like, these pieces of weave are all hitting and you're casting this animate object, you see that there are, like, threads of the weave that actually will go, what you see, like, hit the side of the wall, and then almost like they're passing through surface tension on some, like, waterway, just continue into the hill itself.
He will issue the command, stay, and turn to Ollie. Oh, you should cast it now.
That was wild! Ugh. And he just, like, does a brief hand wave. And you see that, like, his cataract over eyes, like, for a moment there is just, like, that moment of clarity, and they are clear. And they are just, like, they are beautiful blue eyes that this old man has. And he just, like, extends his hand out and, like, I'm doing it on the rocks, right? Not like a squirrel or anything nearby.
Please, on the rocks.
On the rocks. Just the way I like it.
Bless.
And as he does this, then, like, the magic cools down and his eyes kind of cloud back over a little bit. Yeah, you cast generation on these rocks that you have turned into a creature. And, like, everyone is, like, kind of watching this and looking at it. And you see that, like, pieces of rubble begin to sort of, like, vibrate and move as they begin to, like, steadily lift and find their way back onto the wall. as you continue to do this, and how long does regeneration last?
Oh, I got you, boo.
Thank you.
Regenerate. Spell. Casting time, 1 minute. Duration, 1 hour. Touch a creature and stimulate its natural healing ability. Regains 48 plus 15 hit points. For the duration of the spell, the target regains 1 hit point at the start of each of its turns. The target's severed body members, if any, are restored after 2 minutes.
Okay. Cyber, thank you so much for that in chat. I'm fucking dying. So as these rocks are lifting up off of the ground and finding their way back onto this wall, after 2 minutes, this wall that was like had like carvings in it, like Johnny and Tammy were here, like that kind of thing, like it's all healing over. And like there are still pieces that are missing the glyph portion of it, because it's kind of like a tattoo, right? Like if you got like your arm cut off,
like a skin graft, essentially.
Yeah. It's not like you're gonna regrow that tattoo in the same way, but like the rocks are beginning to form and are beginning to set themselves back up, right? And you can see that all of the researchers that are here, there's just that, oh, and like scribbling furiously, like golf claps. Other people are just, oh my god! And
this is where the Latin kicks in.
And you see like one dude's arm crossed. It's like, nah, I could have thought of that. Like, you can tell like everyone is like having opinions on this thing as it solidifies back onto the wall. And you can see that it is where before you had maybe like a fifth of the overall map, you got like a half of this. Like the whole thing's not back together because again, weathering and general missing pieces, that sort of thing. But the wall itself, GGK, thank you for the raid. The wall itself is relatively put back together. And the one thing, Caelum, that you do notice about this is that there also looks to be like the outline of what appears to be like a doorway that is etched into the wall.
Oz.
Yeah.
Caelum's nose is bleeding. Has that always been there?
Oh, the wall that you just put back together that's been, you know, like
Takes
crumbling?
his chin, turns it towards the door.
It's not like a door with like a lock. It looks like as part of like the other petroglyph makeup.
Oh.
But Caelum, the interesting part about this door petroglyph looking thing is that there appear to be 4 holes and what looks like a space for a brick-sized thing.
No fucking way. Caelum walks over to it, reaches into his bag, pulls out the dried fingers. They'll hover over his, pulls out the lodestone and places them in.
And as you do, you get like this, like, it's like a reaction from the wall, where the wall is like, stay. Like, you told it to, like, don't move, other than the regeneration.
Drops concentration.
Okay. You see that there is this brilliant silvered lighting that appears in the outline of this door. And then the door seems to like fold into itself. Like this wall that you see is flat. Not shale, it's more of like a kind of like a drier, arid stone. Seems to like peel and wreath back in a stone-like shape. But like looking at where it was previously, there's no way that there could have been anything like this here. But it is here now, and it is here in front of you.
Oh. Hey,
And-
someone should tell someone.
And you can see, like, so many of them are already on their sending stones. Like, I don't know what happened. He just showed up with that guy from the Arcanist's lab. Send me back. And, like, they're all, like, looking at this just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Caelum will enter into this
And Olin,
tapping.
like,
Sorry.
pats your hip, pats the sidewalk. Yeah, that's some quality stonework right there.
Reaches down to Olin, just like grabs either cheek, kisses the forehead,
Ooh.
and then walks into the door.
Okay. And Olin will, like, look, like, in your direction as you are, like, doing this. Caelum, this passageway twists and winds for maybe about 500 feet. We'll say we'll say it's 1,000 feet, just to round it out. Make it a little bit deeper. Not so surface level. And
I should call her.
God damn it. As you reach the end of this hallway, you see that there is a large chamber that extends upward. And as you take several steps in, you can see that there are these silvered bluish flames that seem to wreath in a quarter circle around until it gets to the very end. And at the very back end of this cavern, you can see what looks to be a massive stone chair. And you see that there is a figure sitting in this chair. It is a giant made of stone that seems to have fallen asleep with their cheek resting on the back of their palm. And
Caelum.
as you look up in these flames, you can hear what sounds like stone grinding as these eyes of stone sort of like peel open.
Do I recognize them?
You do.
Caelum will look up, kind of reach out a hand and touch the leg. I've missed you. And I have so many stories to tell you.
Now, Caelum, looking at this individual, you had cast Animate Object at 10th level.
Yeah.
This is not a flesh and blood giant. This seems to be some offshoot of your 10th level magic, has animated a stone statue version of Groon. And they look down at you. And there is a head tilt. And they ask, or they speak in Giant. Do you speak Giant?
Yeah,
Okay.
I learned.
In Giant, they ask, were you able to save her?
Yes.
And you see that the heavy head nods and sort of looks around this room. I have been asleep for a long time. And they begin to put their hands on the side of their throne, and you see that as they are beginning to stand up, that they have the shape, they have the size of Brother Groon. But you can see that there are engravings along the side markings, almost like there are there's a patterning that has been made onto this statue. And as Groon sort of rolls and shakes, that same silvered bluish flame begins to wreath upon we'll say their right arm as these glyphs begin to glow up. And Caelum, you would recognize these glyphs as a... How do I put this? It is like the latter half of a true polymorph. Where if what this stone awakened statue of Brother Groon is, lets itself be wreathed in these runes, there will be a giant on Alira once more.
Caelum will just watch, wait.
You can see that they're looking around, and they will grab the, because inside of this chamber there is this centered flame, and they will grab this fireplace that has this bluish silvery glow, and he will lift it, and he will begin to light sconces that are much higher than you had been able to, or I guess with your dark vision you would have been able to see them in the dark, but without being able to reach, he lights them. And along the upper side portion of the cavern, you can see that it is a map of the stars that all seem to be glowing back down, and looking at it, there are like gems that are embedded where each of these stars should be. Like, it is a treasure trove just embedded into the ceiling here.
Well, good morning to you, Brother Groon. Or, well, good evening.
Evening, is it? And they will sit back down. That would explain why I am so tired.
Well, not because you were asleep for thousands and thousands of years, no.
Oh. That would do it. Now, Corvain. And he will extend his hand down to you.
Oh, I go by Caelum now, and he'll step on.
And he will bring you up to set you onto his knee. Caelum, tell me what it is I missed while I was asleep. And as he asks you this question, you begin to like, exposition!
I think Caelum starts with, well, there once was a raven.
And Groon just sits there listening. Outside, again, you see like the door just shut and close you inside. There is like the keys, the lodestone, the fingers. There is a brief glowing. You will have them in your inventory. But this is not a chamber for any of the other researchers or anyone else outside. This is just for you and Brother Groon. And I think that is as good of a point to call it for tonight's session as any. So I would like to say once again, thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us for this absolutely wild game of Dungeons and Dragons. We got so much shit explained and done and all of that jazz. Girlfriends got promotions. Other girlfriends were sad and drunk on their boat.
Ah, shit, Diantha.
No, not that one.
No, I have to call Diantha.
And we were reunited with some old friends. But speaking of old friends, that's all of these folks on the channel. I've known y'all for over 5 years now. This is gonna be wild. Or almost 5 years now. It's been a great time, but it's always a great time whenever I have y'all on the channel. RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Well, hey there, whippersnappers. My name is RJ, and you can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and sometimes stream with my friends.
I cannot do that for too long. Catch me on multiple places on the internet, and whenever I go live, check out Twitter, because I retweet there all the time. ToDayKeater.com.
Well, hi there.
Billy.
I don't have an old man voice. I only have an old lady voice. That was Billy. Billy's been gone for a minute. Hi, I'm Cyber. I have a Twitch channel. Twitch.tv, Cyberwolf01. Whenever I'm not exhausted, I'll go stream there because I have to finish up Phantom Hourglass and do other things. I guess that's it for now. Because I'm about to get locked out of my Twitter. DanaeKeener.com.
Speaking of DanaeKeener.com. Hi, everybody. I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, most related to D&D, and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me at Danae Keener for the foreseeable future on Twitter. There's a pinned tweet there with my schedule. You can go there and check out all the games I'm in. So go and do that. DanaeKeener.com.
Danae, can I have you say, ooh, a light in that voice?
Oh, the light.
That was beautiful. Hello, everybody. If you made it this far, you probably already know who I am, but if you don't, it's me, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/IndoorAdventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can also find me on Sundays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over at LBHackEmUp's channel, where we are in the final throes of our Monster of the Week game. We have all made the wish that we want to have a frat party that's ruined by supernatural things. And right now in game it's only Wednesday, so we're making LB play out the rest of the days because we just really enjoy our Monster of the Week characters. But if this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on the VODs of each of the games that we have played on this channel, or you can go towards where anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. But speaking of things that are being made available for free, we are going to be going into our Patreon supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other but also from the community. So if you have any questions about any of the things that you might have seen or heard over the last 3 hours, the easiest way to do that, to ask those questions, is to join us on our Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. But that being said, we do have to get going to that after show. So I'd like to say once again, thank you to everybody who decided to stop by. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!